this button and then say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
Yo, what up? Nothing much. Bringing in another Toga list.
Love it. So Toga, hit me with the pitch.
Yeah. Going back to the return, we're gonna be returning to greatness, to what I consider to be the peak Toga 1 days, which was the Gamer Toga days. I'm sorry, not back alley Himiko, the alleyway ambush. Long strings kill you out of nowhere deck. Haven't really visited this deck much since the Crow and Frog ban, with Crow and Frog not necessarily being a pivotal part, but definitely a very beneficial part, doing everything that the deck wanted, which was stuff the card pool without really worrying too much.
Sure.
That being gone, I decided to look at some of our set 4 stuff. There's not too much set 4 stuff in it. I kind of just put in, I think the main ones are the Terrifying Injury, which is the 1 div Muscular Foundation, which I'm going to be real with you, probably isn't good enough to be in the deck, but I put it there because it fills a similar role that Hero's Inspiration does, where on our turn it's just a free card we can stuff from the card pool on like our 4th attack. For those random hands where we got unlucky and didn't draw all orange on our 17 Toga draws.
Right.
So put it in there. Put Low Blow in there because, I mean, who doesn't want to play Nut Tap? Pretty funny card.
It's funny, big funny.
And it's a 4 div. It's not terrible in the deck either. And yeah, just wanted to look at this, see if we can maybe find some better foundations, any other set 4 stuff I may have overlooked that could probably fit into that Gamer Toga type genre, where we're just trying to string things out and get to the big play like 2 alleyways for free and just get that damage in at the end of the string.
Sure, I'm in. I'm very, very in. Yeah, this idea is really interesting because it stopped existing a bit for set. For set 3, it just kind of stopped, you know. And I think that there's some cool stuff that we are allowed to do with this deck to help us, you know, get the thing going.
Yeah.
So what do you need my help with? Is the final question.
Like I said, just maybe narrowing it down, looking at it. Like I said, this is the only. I think there's 2 set 4 cards in here, being just Low Blow and the Terrifying Injury. Terrifying Injury, like I said, being very niche. It's like honestly not that good on defense for us because we don't want to stuff our card pool on defense. But it is nice that it is just a free stuff in the card pool on offense because it does specify Rival's move gets the speed.
Yeah.
So it's just a card to get in there, like similar to Hero's Inspiration, just worse because it doesn't draw us a card. But it honestly may not be good enough to be kept in the list. I put it in there. I haven't had a chance to test this yet. My partner that I usually test with went to with his girlfriend to see llamas. So yeah.
I'm trying to see llamas?
Yeah, well, I didn't stutter. He left for the weekend to go camping and see llamas.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I got replaced by llamas for the weekend.
That makes sense. To me.
But basically, just look for any set 4 stuff that could fit in there. Like, I know Toga's got a new 3-diff attack. I just feel like Toga 1 plays Excited for Blood much better, with it being like her actual card, and also Cardwell loading just being a big point of where we get a lot of our damage in this deck, especially with how low damage all the attacks are outside of Tongue Whip.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely and fully get that. I don't hate this. I'm just gonna toss a couple things and you I want you're just gonna fight me on them, you know.
I love fighting Tim.
Okay.
It's a joke. My name before Rebby changed it for the upteenth time used to be like #1 Tam Simp or something. I don't remember.
As it should be.
I'm a huge supporter. Yeah, I'm a huge supporter. I give you $10 of my hard-earned money every month. What are you talking about?
Man. Thanks. There's that, and then yeah, I think that I am content. Okay, let's talk about some cards.
Yeah.
So here's the big things. Okay, here's the big things. Number 1. This card is basically Crow and Frog.
Basically, yeah. I think we had this talk last Toga. deck doc was, yeah, it's basically Crown Frog. The reason I didn't throw it in instantly is just because lose 3 health can basically make it to the lose 3 health stipulation on that enhance in this character. Like, there are a lot of games I remember whenever we did have Crow and Frog where I was so low on health going on my kill turn just because I am a squishy 20 health character.
Yeah.
That it would feel really bad to play this card. I mean, it's not, I guess it wouldn't feel bad. It'd just be the first card I play in the string. But to have that bottom enhance turned off, plus it is a lot like Crow and Frog with the stats, the output of damage, and the clearing, not counting. But the fact that it clears really did hit the alleyway plan.
Sure.
It basically forces you to have another attack or another spam or something that you can just stuff into your card pool at some point in the string. I am totally down to give it a shot. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to test the deck. It also kind of gets away from, which I'm down to move away from the OG Heroic Strike bunch of punch plan that we had.
Sure.
For Gamers Toga. It's a cool card. I like it.
So my thought is this card better than Instant Shining Flash at doing its job? Or is it better than Low Blow? I get that this is a punch.
It is. I'll be real with you. I didn't even know Low Blow was a punch. It's nut tap. I just put it in there for the memes.
Funny.
It does fit that now that you say that. It's. I honestly really like Instant Shining Flash. Way back in like set 2, you put me on that card, and I've loved it ever since. Especially going into set 4 with decks like Toga 2 and these other very heavy momentum decks.
Yeah.
Even though Rival gets to choose, that discarding momentum can be very nice sometimes.
Agreed.
And it's also a low block in the life symbol, which can be tough to find sometimes.
So here's the big reveal, like the thing that's gonna make your Gamer Toga work, and I'm telling it, here's to everybody. Should be no shock. This is teamwork.
Oh my god! If I have one more symbols in your card pool, this attack gets 5 damage.
Plus 5 damage. Right. So and you just slam it into your card pool. This is your 5th card. These are free. Or sorry, these are free.
It's free.
Right? And so like going back alley into Low Blow into Future Strike, commit other cards. They blocked the Low Blow because they had to. Right? Yeah. And so this thing is now I'll pay 1 with Toga. It's a 6 for 4. Just kidding. It's a 6 for 9.
Yeah.
And then I get to slam. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in my card pool. I could just slam another Teamwork if I wanted to. There's 5 cards in my card pool. Alleyway.
I like the lines. The lines.
Like putting an extra 5 damage on your Tongue Whip seems pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just
any of the end of string, like the things right before you start slamming alleyways, putting any of those.
Correct. It just makes those just as deadly as your alleyways.
For sure.
I see no reason why this card can't be a 3 of, except for the fact of it's an action. Right? Yeah. But even then, you're playing a life deck, and so like this is normally your lowest or your worst stat line, anyways. And so
it's a really good defensive piece too, if it needs to be.
Being able to block with it and then do the thing. It says that we get to like take out things like terrifying injury that we don't necessarily love, right? The big things that I wanted to address were things like showing off, which I think could have a place.
I almost put it in.
Yeah. The question is what do we take out?
I didn't. Yeah, it was what do I take out, and also what moves am I reliably going to be able to double up the speed and damage on? Now that we have Teamwork, obviously doubling up the damage is a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
So it kind of basically turns any of our cards that we use Teamwork. I'm pretty sure all of our moves actually have less than 5 prints in. So it basically instantly turns Teamwork. You play basically by playing Teamwork, showing off would be able to turn any of our attacks that we Teamworked into basically turn them into Crow and Frog, where they just don't count in the card pool anymore.
So here's the issue with it though. Ready? Showing off only gets perpetually worse the longer in a string that you go, right?
Because you're not getting as much value because they count it.
Any enhance commit this card doesn't count only is good when you play cards super late the more cards you play later in the string, you know? Which is where we get to go to things like good impressions that just says your next punch gets -1 difficulty. So playing this card as the next card like gets to make it a little bit makes it a little easier for us.
Here, yeah.
Yeah. How have you have not tested this deck, correct?
I haven't tested this list. I played the hell out of Gamer Toga when it was around though.
Obviously, we don't have Crow and Frog, but how often did you feel like you weren't getting 5 cards in your card pool?
I mean, honestly, with the beauty of this deck that I think it wasn't necessarily a big brain thing to see, but just putting you're using spam foundations to get to 5, so your alleyways are good.
Yeah,
it's very hard, especially with how much draw Toga gets. I said 12 earlier. It's usually when Excited for Blood and her, you're getting at least 3, going +3 on a turn.
Yeah.
Well, not +3. You're going +1, but you have you see so many cards. It's hard not to usually get it. The main draw from Crow and Frog was just the fact that it was a 4 high for 5 that just for free said I don't count. It was free real estate.
Why not cut like Hero's Inspiration, Terrifying Injury? Terrifying Injury for sure. Hero's Inspiration says you draw a card, so like I get keeping it, but like why not? Like here's one of the biggest things that I'm gonna tell everybody. As sets go, this deck might just work without it, without your set 4 cards. You got this, run it. You don't need this card. Why put this card in? Because it's like it's this weird niche thing of like you can play this card. I just don't think like, just get rid of it. It's gone.
Yeah,
you just don't need it.
Sure.
What number is this going to be at? 62.
Preferably lower end, just to find all of our cards. Yeah, somewhere in like 62 range.
I'm in
62, 65.
Look at our difficulties. Okay. If you feel like you're missing zeros, you just got enamored, which is just like a decent ass 0. Probably like as good as Observant Student is at doing its job. Do we need Observant Student?
How does it's just nice to be able to check things before you can check and see if you want to use it. If you check and see that you have an attack on top, you just obviously Toga draw. If you see a foundation, you don't Toga draw.
Interesting. Why wouldn't you just always Toga draw? Because you get a speed.
Because of 5.
Oh, you get the speed either way. Sorry, but like.
Yeah. It's because you keep the 5 check on top, and you're just guaranteed to check the 5 versus drawing the foundation, discarding a foundation, and then checking a possible 3.
I guess
that's how I see it.
I guess you're not wrong, but I don't know if it necessarily needs to exist. You know.
I hear you. Yeah, I'm down to give it tries. Like I said, this whole list was based solely off like OG Toga 1. I mean, Gamer Toga with just Crow and Frogs basically taken out for low blow, which is not a suitable replacement.
We could also take Teamwork and drop it down to like a 2 of. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we see so many cards; it's not going to be impossible to find.
I think this card is going to be absolutely nuts in your deck, and I think it's part of the reason.
Oh, for sure. I honestly liked it at 3, but if we need to make the number lower, we can make the number lower.
The thing, so here's what I'm wanting to cut. Right, Cardwell loading. That card's too good in your deck. New training method. That card's, if you want to try and kill them on turn 2, you have to have them. Here's Inspiration. I'm a hater of this card. I don't like this card, right?
Yeah.
And then these are all the 2 diffs, and we don't want to cut into these ones because we just want to build 7 on turn 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I want to cut Hero's Inspiration just to. I'm gonna put it in the sideboard so it's not off the table. I just want to cut it, and then I want to cut this out, and then just play double enamored, just so that your curve's a little, just slightly, ever so slightly lower, because I want you to build 7.
Enamored is just Enamored. We're just playing straight up for a 0-2 low block, right?
Correct.
Because we don't ever get the text on the card.
There's no way to do that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Low blocks in any in my life symbol decks I've always taken.
Yeah, and the thing that we're like leaving on the table is like note taking exists to give your things speed. So like it's not possible to block your alleyway or your haymakers. We've got full on attack mode, which just if you play one full on attack mode and then it deals damage at all, you just go ahead and trigger both instances of Toga, and then you have all of the knowledge that you'll have on the turn. Right? There's no draw discard available for the next one because it just happens. The issue is it's a high block and we need the low block, right? Because these are just the same card.
So wait, full on attack mode still triggers even on the block with Toga, or is that not going to work?
When it deals damage.
Because it's Toga doing. So it has to be the
It has
attack
to do
unit.
damage, right?
So, okay.
So if they decide to not block your first move, like whatever it is,
you get all of your triggers.
future charge. You just trigger Toga twice to draw, discard, and because this thing burns them as well, and you get to you just know what your optimal hand is, and you don't have to like go halfway through your turn and like not know, you know.
I'm usually a big hater on the card, but I like how you just explained it.
I mean, that's its one job. Self-sacrifice is probably still just better because it's a one low block, and like we don't need this. But if you feel like you want to try and kill them more, like you could easily replace something like high value target, right? High value target's not a I kill you card. It's a defense card, right? So like this card could instead be note taking, right? To like try and we'll just get rid of it. This card just could be note taking, so that twice your punches are a little faster to push through. Like when you do teamwork, now with the combination of note taking, you actually have Sugar Rush power up on your punch.
I'm down for that.
+2, +5.
Yeah.
Right.
Better than Sugar Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
And then what would we cut for the full-on attack? Cut the...
I don't think that you have to. I'm saying these are options for if you like this thing versus this thing, right?
I hear you.
It's also crazy you're not playing passing. Like I don't. Maybe you just don't need it. I don't know if Gamer Togas were.
I
or
just
were playing
when I always played passing in my I always played it as a 2 in the OG list. It's just that I very rarely found because you're never gonna get the draw 2. You're never very rare. Let me phrase it. You're very rarely gonna have the draw 2. But the thing is, even just the draw 1, sometimes I find that having that extra foundation up is more valuable than the extra card that's just a mystery card.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Nobody is sitting next to you at gunpoint saying, if you don't play the enhance on passing the torch, I'm gonna. Nobody's doing that. You don't have to.
You don't
press
know
that
my
button.
You don't know my local town.
Blink twice, man. Blink twice if you're being held at gunpoint to play passing.
No, I hear you. It's just I guess I can just treat it as almost a blank card that's just there for passing checks. And if I need it, it's nice to have there. It's better to not need it and have it than to need it and not have it.
100%, and that's how I feel, right?
I hear you.
With that said, do you need to do it to bloat your deck? I don't know. This card is best used on defense as well, right? Or it's even like you commit it, you draw your card, you flip it, you blow it up, and like are fine, right? Like just have done the thing. You commit it to draw the card, you blow it up with release for +2 to the check.
The real question is, how do I make room for it? Because all the other cards are pretty good.
What? Oh, so I think this is just a testing thing, man. I think you just need to test it and figure out.
What I need.
Am I okay to put the other 2 cards in my deck? Is 66 an acceptable number? If not, do I need carbo loading? Yes, it does re-ready itself, but like, how often is that going to happen later on in the turn? So the best thing to do with carbo loading is to wait to the very end to just re-ready it off of my Toga response, right? But I want a Toga response as soon as possible. So like the +3 damage here does not necessarily matter most of the time because I'm not playing a bunch of throws, right? And so like, is carbo loading worth it versus passing? I don't know. This is something you have to just test, right? Because I can't do that for you. I mean, I can, but
off the rip, what I want to do is I want to drop carbo down to 1, and I want to put in 2 passings.
Carbo down to 1, 2 passings.
That's what I want to try.
Okay.
This is what, 65?
65 big ones.
Yeah, that's not a bad number.
65, 22. It's technically under whatever, and this is going to be very aggressive because again, teamwork is going to on the turns that you cycle teamwork or whatnot, it's going to absolutely murder them.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm vibing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good point. If I don't like instant shining or local, I can put in the dual needle to try out. See if just the free clear most of the time will make up for things. Yeah, I'm down with it.
It also says that like this gets +2 speed or whatever, right? And so like, does this
Card's
have anything? No. don't know. Maybe you don't need it, but like, this is just like 5 plus X free damage that just like they can't fucking do anything about.
Yeah.
They just can't.
It's pretty neat that I can also just wreck a Dro after she uses her enhance too. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. So maybe it's like a sideboard card. Who knows? Anyway, dude, I think this is as close to Gamer Toga as we're gonna get without the broken ones. You know?
Yeah.
They keep banning cards out of this deck.
They don't want us to have fun. They don't want to see us succeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm down with it. I'm excited to try this out.
All right, dude. Well, let me stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the link, and you have a gross night, okay?
Oh, sure. You too.
See you, buddy.